Ever since V and I did the Boise River float, we've been a little bit obsessed with finding cool places to do tube floats. So when we found out that Florida is absolutely packed full of natural lazy rivers and springs, with Rainbow Springs being one of them, we knew we had to get out there and check it out. You are able to bring your own tube to this float, and V and I had actually bought some for our visit to Kelly Park, which if you haven't seen that video, click in the upper corner right now. But bringing your own tubes does not change the price, and they have much thicker tubes, so we figured we would end up just using theirs. After paying our admission and handing them our keys so they didn't end up at the bottom of the Rainbow River, we boarded the shuttle and headed towards the launch point. After boarding the shuttle, you will be transported 2 miles upriver to the Rainbow Springs campground. Then you will be taking a nice and leisurely ride all the way down the Rainbow River until you reach the exit spot, which is just a couple hundred yards from your car. There is, however, another option. If you want a slightly longer tube ride, you can launch at KP Hole Park. At the time of the recording of this video, it costed $30 to do this option, as opposed to Rainbow Springs, which is $24, but you'll end up running all the way down to Blue Run of Dunalin Park. We spoke to a couple of people and they said that the additional 2 miles of the KP Hole Run was nowhere near as pretty as the 2 miles that we would be doing. And the other benefit is that if you take your receipt for this tube ride to the main entrance for Rainbow Springs, you can get into the park for free. Which is what we ended up doing, and if you want to see that video, you can click in the upper corner right now. And here we are at the launch point for the tube ride. The water averages 72 degrees year-round here, and boy did it feel spectacular. Unlike other tube rides that we've been on where there's moments of calm and then some rapids, this one is slow and steady the entire time. So if you're looking for a thrilling adventure, this might not be the activity for you that day. But if you're looking for a nice, relaxing day on the water, this is absolutely perfect. And here you can see KP Hole Park, which is the other launch option. We highly recommend bringing a dry bag along on the float. While they do hold on to your keys, I'm sure that there is plenty of other stuff like wallets and sunscreen and towels and other things that you would probably prefer stay dry. One thing you're not allowed to bring along with you on the float is alcohol, so it's not going to be one of those wild party floats. The water is typically between 8 and 15 feet here, but I swear that there were a couple of parts where we thought we were going to get grass rubbing on our butts. Along the way, we found this neat little cove that we could pull over and check out. This also gave us the chance to stick the camera underwater and check out the local aquatic life. I'm kind of wishing that we would have brought our masks and snorkels so we could have dipped our heads in the water and watched the fish as we floated down the river. We also got a little creative and discovered that we could use the life jacket that we brought along to tie our tubes together so we didn't drift apart all the time. One thing is for sure, even though we're typically looking for wild, crazy things to do on our trips, sometimes it is just nice to kick back and relax. And it appeared we weren't the only ones relaxing because we picked up several dragonfly stowaways along the route. One thing that we love about Florida is that it seems like cat boats are a huge thing there. We've never seen one outside of the state of Florida. These tiny boats are so much fun to drive, and if you haven't seen our video about that, you know what to do. Click the upper corner right now. As you float down the river, you can't help but be slightly amazed that this entire river is fed by Rainbow Springs. And here is something that's even more amazing. It's estimated that Rainbow Springs pumps out 490 million gallons of water every single day. The very nice ladies at the front counter were telling us that we needed to keep our eyes peeled for a Christmas tree because that was the sign that it was almost time to get out. So we were floating along looking for an actual Christmas tree when it turns out that this is what you're going to be looking for. Once you see it, you need to start working your way over towards the left side of the river because it is almost time to get out. Luckily, there was a guy there waiting for us to help pull us over to the ramp. After you hop out, you will need to carry your tube back to a waiting trailer. This part is almost as pretty as the tube ride itself because you have to make your way down this little boardwalk. We even ended up seeing a little deer making its way through the lush foliage on the way back. After dropping our tube off in the trailer, there is an option to catch a tram, but the tram ride back to the parking lot is only probably about 200 yards long, and since it wasn't there, we just walked. Last but not least, we dropped off our life jackets and grabbed our keys at the front desk. And that is going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like and a subscribe. If you enjoy spring videos, stay tuned because in the next video we are heading to Silver Springs. And for all the information about the Rainbow Springs Tube Ride as well as other awesome adventures, head on over to ThatAdventureLife.com.